Howdy, folks. I'm Daredevil Draco, deftly defending desirable doubloons.
I'm Amber.
And here are more doubloons for me to defend, and I will defend them. Because I'm a dragon and I sit on my hordes of doubloons. Let's get started. Rawr. Alright, folks, speaking of hoarding your wealth, our first letter is titled, Am I a jerk for threatening to quit my job because my wife just randomly quit hers? I'm a 35-year-old male and my wife is a 33-year-old female, and she inherited a large chunk of her late father's sizable estate. She made it very clear that the money that she inherited was supposed to go to her dad's bloodline, also known as her and our children, a 13-year-old female and a 9-year-old male, that I'm not entitled to a cent of it. We live in North Dakota and I make $52,000 a year doing property management that I hate. It gets old driving around dealing with tenants who take out their frustrations out on me because my boss decided to cut corners. Well, my wife worked as an accounts payable clerk making $32,000 a year. She hated her job because there was no growth and it was boring, but she held on to the job to show her dad that she was responsible. Her dad died, and now she's inherited a 5-bedroom, mortgage-free house in another state. It's in one of the most high-cost living areas, near a private college, where nearly all of the students come from the East Coast private schools. She rented out the house, bedroom by bedroom, to the students, and gets about $6,000 a month when it's all said and done. The rest of her inheritance is locked in a trust that pays out about $15,000 a month. Living in North Dakota, that's approximately $252,000 a year that she gets, and it's more than enough to live on. However, I feel that my wife has been unfair with how she handles the money. Right away, she rented herself a BMW, and then she decided that she was done cooking and would order out every day. The problem is that I have high cholesterol, and a lot of foods aren't good for me. And the foods that are good for me, she never leaves enough real leftovers. I can stomach the fact that her inheritance is hers, but it does hurt that I've never resisted picking up the financial burden when I've earned more, but she hoards all of her new money. She put her inheritance disbursements and rent and income all into accounts under her name, and meanwhile, our day job incomes just kept going into our joint bank accounts. That would make sense, but then she quit her job out of the blue last week. She said that she looked at her boss, a 50-year-old female, and that she was not cut out to work until she was old like her. She wants to pursue her passion of photography, but doesn't want to earn money from it. So she quit. But the problem is that she quit because she gets $250,000 plus per year, basically effort-free. I didn't benefit from that, but I still have to pay for the mortgage and other household expenses since she refuses to pay for it, citing that it's a joint expense. Well, we got into a fight and I threatened to quit my job too if we were all quitting jobs now because work is hard. Her rationalization was that she buys takeout every day for us, so my job was enough to pay for our mortgage. I asked her if she wanted to upgrade houses like she upgrades cars, and I'm guessing the new house won't be in my name. Will I have to pay the maintenance and contribute to the mortgage payments? She said that I should have to because it would be living expenses that I would benefit just as much as her. Am I the jerk for being annoyed at her selfishness? Alright, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk for being annoyed at her selfishness, but I feel like you have much bigger problems going on here. Like, her whole rationale is really not okay. It's like, oh, we have joint finances until I get this inheritance, and then everything that I make is mine.
Mm-hmm.
And her whole thing, well, I don't have an income now. You have rental properties. You have a trust fund. You very much have an income and should be contributing to the household.
Yeah.
It sounds like she doesn't love OP. She doesn't even particularly like OP. In the comments, she apparently mentioned to him that he shouldn't quit his job because if he had medical issues, he'd have to pay for those himself. Like, I can't imagine saying something like that to any of my family members.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just this isn't a marriage at this point. And so I think OP probably just needs to lawyer up.
Yeah, I think she's probably trying to push OP out of this relationship is what it seems like. She may have not been happy for a very long time, and she's looking at this money as a new way to basically start over fresh. And OP might have been a marriage of convenience because he was able to pay more than half of the bills at the time, right?
Right. Or, I mean, they could have had a happy marriage at one point and it would just went south. That happens often enough.
Well, I meant like over the last,
Mm.
however long it's just been convenience. She just didn't want to divorce him because she was, benefiting from his presence. And living off of $32,000 a year would have been a lot harder, even if she would have gotten child support. So I don't know. I don't feel like she's showing that she's an interested or invested partner. I think that this is one of those things where she's earning 5 times what OP is at least, right? Like she's earning 5 times from her, other income, right? There's no reason for OP not to pay a smaller percentage of the household expenses. And I think that they should reevaluate, if they're interested in staying married, reevaluate the financial situation and maybe potentially seek a financial counselor as well, because renting out a BMW, buying fast food every single day, I mean, what other expenses are she going to slowly pile on there? It's not going to be long if she continues to spend, and spend more before she doesn't have the money that she needs, right? So this is one of the things that people kind of expect, that money will solve their problems, but money doesn't often solve problems, right? What it does is it gives people more resources to spend. If you didn't have your finances under control before you got your inheritance or wealth, then getting your inheritance and wealth can be a risky endeavor because you might overspend it. So it is important to talk to somebody who can help you set a budget up and, make sure you know how much money you have before you burn through all of it. So I really think that they need marriage counseling, and she needs a financial counselor, and not to order fast food every single day. I mean, is she trying to knock her husband off?
I mean, she might be. Maybe he's got a life insurance policy she could tack on to that.
Yeah, maybe she has a life insurance. He has a life insurance policy. Just horrible. Just horrible. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Blue Green 1956 says, not the jerk. The inheritance showed your wife's true colors. Divorce her and let her enjoy her money. You'll be rid of her and your resentment. And OP replies, yes, it's not so much about me wanting to upgrade my lifestyle, but the fact that she's saying that her contribution to the mortgage and other household expenses, besides the takeout, is now zero since she has no job. I will have to carry 100% of that burden while she enjoys her inheritance. She also said that I should keep my job because if I get sick, I'll need to pay my medical bills, since she refuses to use her inheritance for that either.
About her not having a job anymore, I don't think the courts would see it that way. Like, you might be entitled to spousal support if you get, like, majority custody or something like that.
Well, and then on top of that, like, I know that she thinks that she wouldn't have to cover his expenses, but the thing is that if he were to get sick and he were to get, have a bill or something like that, they're married. She's going to also owe those bills, those debts, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't seem to understand that's not how debts work.
Right. Once you're married, the debts become joint. And if he can't pay up that bill, it becomes hers issue as well.
Yeah.
The creditors will come for her, too.
Yeah, they don't care. They will not care. She can claim all she wants that their finances are split. But at the end of the day, they're just looking at her bank account. And Candy and Crypto says, do not quit your job out of spite. That would be dumb. You should immediately create your own account and have all of your checks deposited into that account. No more joint account at all. Then decide if you still want to be with her or not. If you do stay, then split the bills as evenly as you can. But don't be surprised when she decides that she wants to run off with her new money. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Humiliating My Daughter for Making Her Tell Her Relatives That She Isn't Graduating and Paying Me Back for all the rental stuff? This is a throwaway, also on phone. My daughter was supposed to graduate college this semester. We have been talking about her graduation party for basically 7 months, what she wanted to do, and who she wanted to invite. We have already sent out the invites, and multiple relatives have booked flights to come up. The issue is that my daughter isn't graduating. She lied to everyone for the last 4 months. She failed a class that she needed to graduate last semester and didn't inform anyone. She told us this yesterday, and the party is in about a month. Everything has been paid for already. So I informed her that she needs to call her relatives and explain the situation. If they can't get a refund for their flights, then I expect her to pay them back. I also informed her that she needs to pay back the rental price since I can't get a refund for some of the stuff. This resulted in a huge argument, and she is calling me a jerk for humiliating her. I explained that it is her fault, and if she had informed us months ago, then this wouldn't be happening. My husband thinks that I'm being a bit harsh, but is sticking by me. Edit, she knew that she failed the class by break the first week of December. She had all of December, January, February, and this March to inform us, and didn't. She continued to plan with us for the graduation party and never informed us that she wasn't graduating. It was a core class offered once a year, and she will need to take it in the fall. She knew that she wasn't graduating. The school isn't letting her walk. She will have to walk at the December one. Multiple people are asking what I would have done if she had informed me. I would have moved the party and helped her figure out how to make the best out of the extra semester. Probably would have looked into if she could add a quick minor, but can't do that now since most of the summer classes have been filled. Alright folks, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Opie's being the jerk here. I also think this is probably unenforceable since she did not pay for any of this stuff up front. If someone books a ticket for an event and the event gets canceled, like they can't just demand like a refund on their flight or whatever from some other person. So asking her for the money back, I think, should be a no-go, period. And I also think, like, just have the party anyway. Does it really matter if she's one class short? Like, yeah, sure, people won't get to see her walk, but just don't have a party in December. People can come to the commencement if they want to, although usually those are very small anyway. Like, I know at UMaine, you can only have a handful of guests, like 4 or something these days, so, it just... Probably most people wouldn't get to see her walk anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to speculate on whether or not they would be able to see her walk, but I would think that the prudent thing to do is just to go forward with the party anyways, and explain to any of the guests who are expecting to see her walk that she missed a class and she has to make up for it, and say that this is her graduation party. There won't be another one after this, right?
Yeah.
And I think that that's going to resolve a lot of the issues. She's basically there. She has one class left to do. If she fails at this next time around, I mean, what's the harm? Everything's already paid for, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's good. She probably did this out of, feeling really embarrassed, maybe feeling like a failure. People go into denial over things like this. It's really hard to face it when you've been banking on this graduation and then you find out, oh, it's not happening. How do you even tell those people? So,
well, she may not have realized that she wouldn't be able to walk, because if it's just a single class, then sometimes the school will let you walk.
Yeah, well, I know for UMaine, like, if you can take the class and graduate in August, you still get to walk. And I know this one's in the fall, but she may not have realized it was only in the fall or something like that.
So it's one of those situations where it does seem like she panicked. It seems like she probably made a poor decision. Don't go ahead and punish her even more because of this, right?
Right.
Just have the graduation. Don't worry about the cost at this point in time. Don't force everyone to get refunds and everything. Just pretend like she's graduating. I don't know.
Well, yeah, she is basically there. It's one more class in the fall. It's not like having a party a little early. It's not like it's at the beginning of her academic career or something. She's basically there. She just has one class. Just use the celebration you already have and make the most of it.
Yeah. Well, let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here. And Amber, she has a joke.
What might you call a rude duck?
A bad quack.
A foul fowl.
Oh yes, a foul fowl indeed. And I have Mega Mint. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Wednesday, Hump Day, Friday, Junior's Eve. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please, have it involve hoarding wealth.
It makes sense for dragons to hoard their treasure, but hopefully you value other people more than just money.
Yes. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye!